if you have a cylinder, I won't be here tomorrow, so I would say take the plastic off tomorrow and you can do it the following day, okay? Put the lid on, okay? All right, first thing that you're going to do is you got to get it off the bat, and you're going to put it on the wheel head here. The wheel head on a kick wheel is the same as a wheel head on a potter's wheel. They have lines on here, okay? You probably never really noticed, but there are lines here, and that's so you can center something smack dab in the middle. So what I want to do is look at the lip and look at that first line, okay? And then visually try and place it right in the middle with equal distance to that line, okay? Okay, then you need to check it. So I'm going to go down the list here. It's posted right over here, okay? So if you miss something or if you just want to wait till the end, it's fine to write all those things down. So first thing we're going to do is center it, and then we're going to secure it. But I want to talk to you a little bit about what you should bring to the wheel, okay, the kick wheel. You need to bring several tools, one being your needle tool. Okay, this is mine. Bring a needle tool. Bring your baby hoop tool. Okay, now some people never even made this, okay? If you haven't, there are sticks over there, and what you do is take a paper clip, stretch it out so it just looks like a wire, then fold it in half, pinch it so it has that distance, okay? Just a little loop at the end. You don't want a big loop, you want a little loop like that. Take it and tape it onto the stick. Make a little flag, write your name on there, it's yours, okay? So you need this. So needle tool, baby hoop, medium hoop, okay? Now the medium hoop, there's different styles. You want it, one that has corners on it like this. See, it's like a triangle. This is important because this one's not a great one for putting a foot on, okay? You want this side, okay? And a large hoop. Now this one's kind of a triangle. There's other ones that are kind of kidney bean shaped, but you need one of these, and you need a kind of wet sponge, moist sponge, okay? So all those things. Now, my suggestion is down at the bottom, kind of put that, okay? So when you come to do this, you already have all the stuff that you need. The other thing that you're going to need is a piece of clay, about the size of like a tennis ball, maybe smaller, I don't know, something like this, okay? So, piece of clay, needle tool, baby hoop, medium hoop, and large hoop, and sponge, okay? Alrighty. All right, now, we're gonna test to see if it's centered, and remember how we do that on the potter's wheel, is you're going to kick, it's not secured yet, so I have to be careful not to spin it too quick. When I spin, I'm putting my left foot up here on the edge here, and just my right kicks like this, okay? You just kick like this, and it spins the wheel. If you're left-handed, you can go the other way, okay? The right would be up here, and you would kick with your left. Okay, so I'm gonna brace my hand here and barely touch the cylinder. Okay, it's slightly off, so I'm gonna stop it. Look at the line, and I'm going to push it. Try it again. Okay, that should work. Okay, clay. You're going to take off a blob, something like this. Make it kind of into a hot dog shape. Break it in two. It doesn't have to be this perfect coil. It just needs to be kind of elongated like this. Take it, curve it a little bit, and put it on either side of the cylinder. This is to secure it down to the wheel head, okay? Now, when you push down on this clay, you have to make sure that you have them both on either side, okay? One here and one here. Because when you push down, you're securing it to the wheel head and to the cylinder. If you just put one down, and this is what people do sometimes, they put one down, they push down, and the cylinder will scoot over, okay? And you don't, then it's off center, right? Okay, So when you do this, you want to put them both down. You're going to press straight down. Don't go like this, because your cylinder might be still soft down here, and it'll warp it, warping, making it oval. Okay, so you got to go straight down and push. Okay, I think I just warped it. Okay. Then take another piece and do the same exact thing. Clay, hot dog-like shapes, put it on either side, and press straight down. Okay, now it's secured. It could fly off, so you always want to keep your opposite hand like a catcher's mitt, just in case. Every year I see somebody that is kind of, you know, they're concentrating and the wheel's spinning fast and the thing goes flying, okay? It's so sad, especially when it's due that day. So get your cylinder done way ahead of time. Okay, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look here in number 1. Measure the bottom with a needle tool, a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch on the very bottom. Now, do you have to do that? You probably should have already done that when you were at the potter's wheel, right? Remember we checked, that's one of the steps in throwing. So you don't really have to do that, but if you don't have enough clay right here in the middle, you'll go through. Absolutely, you will go through. So you have to have at least a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Okay, number 2, determine placement of foot. Is it visible or is it an invisible foot? Now, you don't really have a choice. You are making a visible foot. Visible foot means you can see the foot here, and it's carved out here. Invisible, you can't see the foot until you turn it over, okay? Then it's carved out just here. So this is an invisible foot. We are doing this, okay? All right, 3, center on the kick wheel and secure with clay. We did that. Number 4, round the shoulder with a large hoop tool. That's what this is. So I'm gonna kick, leaving my left foot up here. Kick, kick, kick. This hand's just kind of like a catcher's mitt. And I'm gonna take off this flashing, okay, this on the edge here. Just scrape that away. This is called the shoulder right here. So when you hear me say the shoulder, that's right here, okay? It's just like a shoulder on a person, okay? So, carve this away. Okay. You won't need to use this again. That's done. So put that aside. Done with that. Okay, number 5. Invisible foot, and this is a description. Invisible foot is the inside of the foot is carved out, but the outside is merely rounded. It's just like natural, okay? Number 6, draw a line for the outside of the foot with a needle tool. Now this is really important, and people kind of mess up on this. You want to draw a line as close to your shoulder as possible, okay? We want to make sure we can get a foot on here. A lot of times people put the outside of the foot here, way inside, and they end up with a little polka dot foot. Don't want that. So we're going to start way out here. So you brace, you put your elbows on your legs or on the tray, and you're going to watch that needle tool barely touch. Make a line. To be very steady and carve it down. Okay. Put that away. Your baby. Okay, we're on number 7. You're going to slowly carve down the outside line with the baby hoop tool, 1/4 of an inch. So the height of the foot is a 1/4 of an inch. Okay. So I'm going to take this. This is where it gets real tricky. Take your loop tool, brace here, and kind of catch your mitt over here. You're barely going to touch the line. Just let it kind of sit there very gently. Don't put a lot of pressure. As it spins, it will slowly make a groove or furrow down into the clay. Okay, so you can see the line is going away now. And then once it gets a furrowed line, I can put more pressure. If you put a lot of pressure in the beginning, it could slip off. And then it's really hard to get it back on track because it'll keep wanting to follow that irregular line. So again, here, now that it's furrowed in, I can put a little more pressure and really dig in, get rid of that. Oops. Alrighty, done with that for now. We are on 8. This is a description of what we're doing. A visible foot. You carve the outside of the foot with a medium square hoop, a 1/4 inch in height, and at a right angle. This should be at a right angle. It's not angled in, it's straight up and down, okay? So, take this. This is gonna get hard now. See the corner there? The corner goes right in that groove. See how I'm doing? Straight up and down. Then I'm gonna lay it down slowly this way. See how that clay is coming off, swirling like that? That means it's leather hard. It's like perfect for carving. If your clay is super soft, so hard to carve, because what happens is you carve and then it sticks back down again, and it can be a nightmare. So you really want it to be leather hard. So kick, 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 kick. You gotta keep somewhat of speed going here. Okay, and then I'm gonna keep carving the shoulder. Back up here. And rounding the shoulder. Kick, kick. And I'm going to keep carving that shoulder till it's nearly nothing's there at all, okay? So many times people make shoulders that are just a rounded square like that, okay? So that's right here, okay? You want it to completely be gone. It should just, like if an ant was standing there, it would just fall off, okay? I have an example, I didn't bring it out, of a not rounded shoulder, and what happens also is that it's not aesthetically pleasing, and the glaze on here will stick to the kiln shell, okay, because you haven't dropped the shoulder down. Okay, at this time, you can see the outside of my foot's kind of funky looking. So I'm going to take the corner and stand it straight up, right next to the foot. And carve that at a 1/4 inch, okay? And now it's at a right angle also. Got a little edge here, get rid of that edge. Go back. Don't worry about going through. People get so nervous. I'm going to go through, Mrs. Fate. And so they make like a square edge here. You're not going to go through. The reason I know that is your beginning students, for one, beginning potters, you tend to throw thicker, okay? And the thickest point is right down here, okay? And that's super thick still, even though I've carved this away. So I'm going to keep carving. I want that to be really rounded. And I want that foot to stand up. Okay, pretty well done with that. Got a little edge here. Just going to lightly touch that. Take that off. A little gooey. Okay. All right, number 9, create the inside line with a needle tool. So now we're going to carve out this middle part, okay? This part here. Okay, so when you do that, use a needle tool. You're going to come in, and you can see what it says here, create inside line with the needle tool, must be 1/2 inch from the outside of the foot, carve down, and then carve down with a baby hoop. But first we're gonna establish it with the needle tool. So I'm gonna brace. I always brace. I never do this, okay? You're just not steady. Okay. inch, and there we go. Take your baby hoop. In the same way, you just barely touch that line. Let it just kind of glide around and around, lightly putting pressure, and then as it furrows in, you can put more pressure. If you, like I said, if you bear down really hard in the beginning, it could slip off. So you just want to establish kind of a carved line, then begin carving down really firmly. See how that is? Okay. Now I'm going to take back to this one, take the corner, lay it right in that groove, just like that, and then slowly lay it down this way. And you're going to follow that hoop all the way toward the center of the piece. Then back again. Back here to the edge. It's overlapping to the center. Shouldn't have a high spot. Should be nice and flat. And you have to go slow with the hoop tool. So I'm going to go back now. Get that nice straight up and down foot. Zoom it out. Okay. Good deal. Here, make sure it's 1/4 inch. Okay, where are we here? 10. Just did this. Carve slowly from the inside of the foot, from the inside line toward the middle of the base, overlapping your carved lines. 11. Smooth the shoulder and side with a rib. You can do this. I don't do it all the time, but occasionally I will take a rib and kind of smooth this out with the shoulder with a rib. Number 12, get your moist sponge, put it on here, and take off any kind of sharp edge or weirdo mark on here. Just run your hands back over there. Stop the wheel. Number 13, put your name and period on the inside. I sometimes have seen people writing on the outside of the foot, because we do put our name on the outside of the foot. Remember when you go to store it? But you don't want it to still be there. You carve that away. So now you just put your name here, because the outside is going to be glazed. Okay? We're using a wax resist design. So everyone will dip theirs in Watts White, and then you'll use wax to create a design. Then you will go over it with copper. Okay, banding it. Anyway, any questions? Okay, clean up your clay shavings is number 14. This tray comes off, dump it in the trash. All the junk here needs to go into the trash. Okay? Wheel person, you are responsible for making sure these are cleaned. There is not a sign up for these wheels, okay? So, on us. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you.